Welcome back to Podzilla, a monster movie podcast. We watch different creature features to do with different themes every few months, and our current theme is Beneath the Waves. Monsters that live in the water, that live in lakes, that live in rivers and the ocean. My name's Jasha, and I'm here with my brother.
I'm Micah. Hey.
And today we're going to be talking about The Host from 2006. Why are you laughing? That was great. That was a good intro.
That was good. I love an intro that is 50 words from one person and 2 words from the other.
Well, Micah, you're about to do a whole lot of talking because before we get into The Host, I think we have to officially announce we are 13 days into the official Summer of Mykah. It is summer here in New Zealand.
Oh, wow.
It is 13th of December when we are recording this. I think summer here goes from December 1st through to the end of February. So we're 13 days in, and I just thought it would be good to do an official kickoff. Summer of Mykah. We are officially in it, P fans. Micah, what was his? What did you say you're gonna do? Movie every day. Getting through these big Summer of Mykah franchises that you're gonna be making some time for.
Yeah.
So consider it officially kicked off. Micah, how is the Summer of Mykah going?
Can I just say, summer officially begins with the December solstice on December 22nd in New Zealand.
That's not true.
It's completely true.
That is not true.
But if we're going by the unofficial dates,
yes.
I'm feeling good. There is so much passion rising up within me for movies, games,
Great.
media, books, even
Let me
audio dramas.
I'm actually really excited. Let me go to your letterbox because I just want to check out what you've been watching the last 13 days. Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's 2
and
The Abyss,
that's right.
which we covered 2 weeks ago.
And I'll have you know, one of those movies was 1.5 stars. I won't say which.
Summer of Mykah off with a bang.
Crazy.
Official Summer of Mykah merch coming out soon. I hope you guys are ready for a full-on few months. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's actually crazy. I feel like this past year, because I've been doing a lot of stuff in the background.
Here we go.
But no, it's true. You know this.
Here we go. Doesn't have time to do anything. Wakes up, goes to work, does shows, goes to sleep.
I'll have you know, this week has been me wrapping up 90% of extracurricular things in my life.
Oh.
So now from here until the end of time, I've got free time for days.
Nice. And you've booked out some annual leave for Christmas. You're going to take a good break.
Absolutely not. I'm working Christmas night, baby. Christmas Eve night. The clock's going to roll over and I'm going to be working hard.
I just want to remind you that we this year started, I feel like, with Movie A Day Mike.
Summer of Mykah, Movie A Day Mike.
And then it was American Summer of Mykah. And you're like, no. We're actually going to go hard in New Zealand summer.
Yeah. When it starts on the 22nd of December. I was actually
That's not even. It's officially summer in New Zealand.
No, it's not.
What
It's
are you
unofficially
talking
summer.
about?
Can I just say as well, I love the fact that at least 5 Podzilla episodes have started off talking about the Summer of Mykah. It's very thematic. I love it.
And it's officially started.
Before this recording started, I literally turned to Jasha and I said, Jasha, do you think it's possible for Movie A Day Mykah 2026?
I want to
Every
believe.
movie a day.
I want to believe. Every movie a day. Every movie a day, Mike.
I've got a little chrono watch. I'm going to stop time.
You're full of BS.
Huh?
You're full of BS. I don't believe this.
I might be full of BS. I feel like there is a world.
Far away world.
Very far from this world. An alternate reality where next year comes, I actually make a super intentional effort to watch a movie a day. Because I've done this in the past, right? I've done, I'm going to read every single Marvel comic in a year, in the space of a couple years. But movie a day seems feasible. Movie a day seems so feasible. I can just book out. My nights are going to be free. I can just book out one movie a night. Is this what you do? Is this what being Jasha feels like? Being Jasha Drake?
I do not believe that you can do this.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't believe it's hard. It's easy to come home to the family, have some nice dinner, hang out with them, and then before you go to bed, just watch a quick 90-minute movie. I don't believe that's hard. But I believe somehow in Micah's mind, he's going to be sitting down, he's going to be looking up video game news, he's going to be watching something on YouTube, he's going to be, I don't know. What do you even do? You got that little game on your phone, that little Idol Slayer game.
Actually, I'll have you know I've barely been playing that.
I don't believe
I
it.
wanna take a look at the difference between us.
Okay.
You slam me for
Yeah, I
having
do.
watched 2 movies this month so far.
Mhm.
You've only watched 6.
Hey,
That's only 3 times more. Like that's
I also watched Stranger Things season 5.
yeah. Okay.
Have you done that?
No.
Also finished The Morning Show. Have you done that?
No. But I want to.
I've also read 3 novels this month.
That's great. I've read 1.
Micah. I'm just losing faith in you completely.
It's.
I think all our
it
listeners
scares
are.
me.
So I think you're going to have to actually do something about
Okay.
it.
It scares me opening up your letterbox diary and seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 entries on a single day.
Those are all those minute-long short films we talked about.
Yeah, I can't do it, but I can do 1 a day.
You could do one minute movie.
I can
a day.
watch Masculine Feminine in a day.
Okay.
Easy.
You'd like that movie.
I just need to go to the cinemas more. I need to spend more money. This is what I need to do. I need to spend more money as incentive to. Maybe I just buy stocks and stocks of popcorn. Maybe I just segregate my cupboard into like a little movie treat section, movie snacks.
You're saying you cannot
I have,
watch
like-
movies without popcorn?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think I can watch movies without a snack. Is this what you do? Like, can you watch a movie without anything at all?
Dude, I don't eat or drink while watching movies. I raw dog the movie theater. That's what you call it, right?
What?
I raw dog the movie theater. All my friends are like, movies are so expensive nowadays, Chasha. I can't afford the movies. And I finally get them out to a movie, and then they pay like $20 for the movie, and then they spend $30 on food and drinks. I'm like, you're saying it's expensive to go to the movies. You're spending more than you're spending on a movie ticket to get food.
I get that. On the other hand, I'm very much of the ilk that like cinemas should be an experience. If you're gonna go, you might as well.
Dude, no, you need a pee.
No,
you need a pee.
You might as well support the movie theater, support cinema. Why rocking up with your overpriced popcorn? It's part of the vibe.
Yeah.
Maybe
it's a small movie theater.
That being said, I do go to a third of the amount of movies at the cinemas.
And
that
most
you
of the
do.
movies we go to, what are you talking about? Most of the movies we go to, you like, okay, I don't want to buy any food or drink at the theater. Let's stop off at this corner store on the way there and grab a cheap drink and smuggle it
sneak
in.
it in. That's also
what
part
you
of
talking about supporting theater.
That's also part of the experience. There are two sides. You can go fully hard on supporting the theater. Supporting cinema, Jasha.
Oh, yeah, supporting
Or
cinema.
you can support local businesses by buying a $2 soda can and sneak it in the pocket of your jacket.
Okay, all right. Anyway, Summer of Mykah, I'm hearing, is postponed then until what, the 22nd?
22nd. Yeah.
Okay. Which will be about by the time this episode comes out.
Yeah. So the time you listen to this episode, Summer of Mykah will have started.
Okay, great. Today, like I said, we're talking about The Host, directed in 2006 by Bong Joon Ho. Absolute legend. Have you seen any of Bong's other movies, Micah? You've seen Mickey 17.
I've seen Mickey 17,
You've seen
which was all right.
half of Parasite?
I watched 10 minutes of Parasite with my sister, who then got tired and didn't want to watch it anymore. So I'm blaming Shamaya. I'm calling you out for not being able to watch the movie. I do want to go on a little Bong journey.
There
sometime
is
soon.
a Bong movie that is one of my favorite movies ever, and I think it's so Micah coded, and I
Yeah.
think you would love it. It's called Memories of Murder. It's about these two hapless kind of detectives trying to find this serial killer in this small town in Korea.
It is on my watch list. I do want to watch
It is so good. It is so good. Big Mindhunter vibes, and it's got the main guy
Yeah,
that's in
yeah.
this.
This is like Zodiac.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
okay.
so funny. You'd like it. Watch Memories of Murder. But Bong Joon Ho, he's such a big Godzilla fan. He said that ever since he started making movies, he has always dreamed of the monster movie he was going to make. He always grew up watching Godzilla and Ultraman, really wanted to make something of that ilk. And then I'm not sure you're aware, you probably are, but this is kind of based around a real incident that happened
Yes.
in Korea.
Yes.
You are aware.
Yes.
An incident called the McFarland scandal, when an American base in Korea had hundreds of bottles of formaldehyde and were like, hey, let's get rid of this. And they dumped them in a river, and it actually ended up infecting some of the surrounding area and got people really, really sick.
Not only that, I think what half the story was as well is that they ended up not persecuting this person.
Prosecuting?
I think they both fit. Persecuting and prosecuting this person on Korean soil. But then when this person went overseas, then I think it's called in absentia, they ended up charging them in absentia when they weren't present for it. And it sparked a huge debate about the fact that the government wasn't really competent enough to enact justice on their own soil. And it led to a lot of people believing that their own government was a little bit spineless.
Yeah. Big theme of the host.
Is
like how inept the government is. But a quote from Bong himself about this movie was, he said, like Godzilla was created due to the nuclear bomb in Hiroshima, my monster is motivated from another real incident, the McFarlane scandal. So very thematically tied to Godzilla in a way that like it's a big traumatic event that happened in a country. Being kind of the genesis of some sort of monster, and a movie that kind of calls back to the government's response and what the people were feeling at the time. So
I love that idea of taking these real events that happened and then saying, hey, in a slightly more fantastical world, here's what it caused.
Yeah. And here is like I think a metaphor for what like people were really feeling.
Yeah, I think it goes to highlight just how bad these events were that are sometimes overlooked because the government doesn't take as much of a stand as they should against them.
Damn governments, eh? So yeah, skip ahead. Use the chapters in your podcast app if you want to skip right to the host discussion. But before that, Micah, is there anything else you've been doing? Five Nights at Freddy's? Do you want to actually explain yourself?
No, I think it was after our recording last time. What was our last recording?
The Abyss?
It was The Abyss with the boys. # The Abyss with the boys. And afterwards, I'm like, I've got the day free. I kind of want to see a movie. Yeah, I saw the first FNAF in theaters. Not expecting it to be good, but knowing that it is a cultural phenomenon. I went along. Ended up seeing my sister at the same cinema, which was wild because it was in the middle of a weekday.
People are on holiday. Schools are out.
She absolutely loved it.
Yeah. Your thoughts?
It's a bad movie.
Should we do Five Nights at Freddy's on Podzilla? They creature features? Like ghosts and zombies and robots?
Ghosts and robots. Not zombies yet.
Doesn't a dude like fuse with a mech?
Not yet. That's for movie 3.
Oh.
That's for the threequel?
Yeah, the third,
you know what I mean.
Finale
you know what I mean.
to the threequel. Okay.
I feel like it's one of those movies that, there's an entire generation now that has jumped on the FNAF bandwagon and it's become such a cultural icon. And it still blows my mind that you have what is a very heartfelt and like quite good in what it actually is, a very small, independently made horror game in the mid-2010s. That has ended up just being hyper fixated on by an entire generation. And you can't go into a store nowadays without seeing, plushies and figures of these
books. They're like the best-selling books.
They've made like a book series on what was originally a story about a murderer killing children and hiding their bodies in animatronic suits.
Do you think
the fact that that's
know
become
that?
glorified? Yeah, but I think it's... I don't know. I mean, we grew up on very similar things.
But I think it's so much so...
I mean, like, there's YouTube channels and, like, we grew up around, like, the Salad Fingers generation. Don't hug me, I'm scared.
We talked about that.
But I don't think that was hailed as being, like, normal and good by parents.
But, like, Five Nights at Freddy's, I feel like it's so to the extreme that the games were pretty messed up.
Yeah.
So much so that they had to tone down the movies.
Yeah.
So, like, fans of these messed up games are going to see the movies, but the movies are very kid-friendly, and they're a lot more, like, fluffy with their ideas.
I mean, I didn't grow up on them as much, but there's the whole genre of, like, 80s slasher, like, teen slasher movies.
Micah.
That at that time, that's what teens were going to see.
Yeah.
And now teens are going to see Five Nights at Freddy's.
Withered Bonnie.
Which is toned down incredibly so that like it's almost like an entry to horror movies, but even then it's I mean, the most graphic part of the movie, I can spoil this. The most graphic part of the movie is what's his name who plays the dude in Jurassic Park? Newman. No, that's Seinfeld. That's Seinfeld.
Nedry.
Dennis Nedry. I forget the actor's name, but he's the principal of the school. He just plays the classic Dennis Nedry character. But there's a scene where his head gets full-on crushed by one of the animatronics.
Gory as blood?
You don't see any blood.
Out.
You see him fall to the floor.
Oh.
His face and head is obscured. It's very much movies that evoke the feeling of a horror movie without really being a horror movie
it's
itself.
Not genre, not horror, but
it's
evokes
not horror.
a horror.
That's
good.
Like even then, I feel like there's a world in which it could be done really well. It's really bad. I feel like the reason that so many people love it is because, I mean, I'm guilty. The good old YouTube channels like Game Theory, like there is so much lore to the entire series online throughout the however many games they've been able to create. And because of channels like that, every single kid knows the entire history of the franchise now. And the movie, its way of paying homage to the series is just by putting Easter egg after Easter egg in. Like
I feel like
the thing that you said, withered Bonnie. It's like a couple frames of a character from the third game that shows up isn't explained, but the fact that it's in it, everybody raves about it.
I feel like I'm getting so old, man, because between this and Minecraft, it's just two franchises that have potential, but like the people making it just do not even have any love for the franchise. Like the random director of the Five Nights at Freddy's movies, like some middle-aged
I didn't even know
lady.
Man.
Like who is she?
I don't know. I haven't seen the Minecraft movie, but I feel like those two are incredibly similar. Like,
and they're not even
Minecraft
made.
Isn't a great movie, but it just has enough references to Minecraft culture that everybody who sees it gets excited about those.
They're not made for fans of the games. They're made for fans of YouTube videos of people playing the game.
Oh,
right?
They're not made for fans of the games. They're made for fans of the communities of the games.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. It's
just weird. It's weird.
Can you imagine a really, really good Minecraft movie?
Yeah, heck yeah.
It does not reference the community or jokes within the community at all.
No.
It's its own thing. Man.
Okay. Next season.
I'm not too mad about it. I have no investment in
yeah.
But
it is the start of the Summer of Mykah. So
oh gosh. No, 22nd.
Sorry, yeah, start of the
Everybody watch out for my letterbox. On the 22nd. It's gonna be a movie a day, carried through the rest of the summer, potentially all throughout 2026. We're in for a good year.
I've been watching a few bits and pieces, mainly just awards stuff as we're getting closer to the Oscar nominations.
When is the Oscars happening next year?
I think that nominees are announced on like the 22nd of Jan or something, end of Jan, and then you've got until start of March when the Oscars actually happen.
Because I really want to make an effort to do what you do every year, which is watch all of the nominations for the Oscars.
It is so worth it. Just getting a gauge on like that year in film or that year in art. Like not even the big movies, but my favorite bits are always just like the documentaries of the year. Like getting a good idea of what's actually happening out there and how people are telling those stories. Like you wouldn't track down 6 documentaries.
No, it blows my mind because like the documentaries and the shorts categories specifically are ones that any normie, like most of my friends, most people you would meet on the street wouldn't really have any of a clue that those things are even out there.
Nah, but it's worth doing it because these are the best of the best, or the ones that truly moved people the most. And I think there's still that culture of like, oh, the Academy's old hat. Old people just voting on movies, not even watching them all. But they've done such a good job. They're actually putting like rules in place that everyone must watch everything before voting. It's like people from different countries. It's like equal parts divided. Who's actually a part of the Academy now? Like younger actors are getting invited to join. Like culturally and age wise, like it's just very diverse now. Like they've done it, like it's not what it used to be. Like it is like actually a great snapshot of movies.
Man, if only other awards shows had the same kind of regulations in place.
What are you talking about? The Game Awards?
So in
Who votes for the Game Awards?
in our time, the Game Awards happened yesterday. I think Clear Obscure won like practically every category that was in. But I don't think that they need to play all the games that year. A lot of it is just based on fan engagement. I didn't even know, but it's crazy enough that like realistically you shouldn't have any stake in the people that are voting for these games. The awards are literally just kind of nonsensical.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Like, truly, are all those judges or whoever's voting, have they, like, played Hollow Knight Silk Song to completion?
No, I wish they had.
Yeah, they'd have a good idea about it then.
One of my, I can say this now, it's great. The game that I did playtesting for, that
Blueprints.
Blueprints was nominated for one of the categories. Blows my mind that it ended up being that big.
That's awesome.
And I can almost guarantee that most of the people who were voting that year did not play that game.
I know, yeah, it sucks. Did you even see, was it the Golden Globes? Or was it a Critics' Choice? It was another, like, film award ceremony that nominated for, like, biggest, I don't know, most popular movie or biggest box office. And they already put the nominations out, and Avatar, Fire and Ash is part of the nominees. And the movie hasn't even released yet,
It's
but
so
they're just
funny.
nominating it on the, like, idea that it is going to be popular when it comes out. It's weird.
We're in a weird state. Like I know that
strange.
there would be a lot of rules and regulations and, you know, ways that they work around movies like that come out in the year, but before the movies have really been around long enough to make an impact.
It's just like freaking Spotify Wrapped. Like, why are they releasing these year in review things
Prior to December.
like start of December or end of November? Like, we should just like regulate. Hey, we're just going to do a full on Jan to December. This is the movies that or the
Why not
games.
they?
Or, I don't know. It's just very
I'm
weird.
curious now.
Anyway, Wake Up Dead Man was a movie I watched the other day. I
Yes.
don't know if it's going to be nominated, but it's the third Knives Out movie. It's on Netflix now. Truly blew me away. I'm not a Knives Out fan. I usually find like because they're very. I like whodunit, and I always go into Knives Out movies being like, okay, I'm gonna really lock myself in for a real good whodunit. But then he ends up like subverting it, so it's not quite truly a whodunit. And
Yeah.
sometimes you already know who's done the crime, or sometimes like it's just very different. Like, it's not classic. He always has some sort of twist in there.
Yeah, I've only seen Glass Onion, but from what I've heard of the first and second movies,
Have you not seen the first Knives Out?
I haven't seen it.
Whoa.
But I know that knowing who the killer
Yeah.
isn't really a spoiler for that movie, because they are almost parodying the genre. And like you're saying,
For sure.
subverting expectations so that the point of the movie is not to figure out who done it.
Yeah. But I'm always, I don't know. I kind of like it, but then I always am just a bit sad because I think Rian Johnson would make a really good, like, classic whodunit story.
But I heard that this third one is a little bit more straight.
I think finally, this is the one of the three that I really actually like. Daniel Craig's amazing. Josh O'Connor as the priest is phenomenal. And the mystery was really, really good this time around. So I'd really recommend. What's it called? Wake Up Dead Man. I was going to say Dead Men Tell No Tales, but I don't recommend that.
Can I get a quick what's the name of the inspector?
Benoit Blanc.
Can I get a quick little voice
Blanc.
from you? I just want a voice line.
Well, hello there. I'm Benoit Blanc. No, he's more like classic. No, that's Sean Connery. He's more like classic, like Texas. I can't do it like he's an old.
Texas.
Well, I say, I'm Benoit Blanc, and I'm here to solve a mystery.
He's literally just the rooster from Looney Tunes.
That's, yeah.
I say.
And the other thing I've been doing with my time is I've been directing a local musical.
Not even that. You've been writing?
Well, a close friend of mine, Larissa, actually wrote this original musical. She brought me on board to help develop it a little bit, and I ended up writing a few songs and then got my arm twisted into directing it as well. And this week is our final week of rehearsals before putting the show on next week here in Whangarei on like the biggest stage in Whangarei, the biggest event center. So I'm very nervous.
Blows my mind that you've gotten like the biggest event center in Whangarei is pretty big.
I'm pretty nervous, but yeah, that's what I've been doing this year. I've really I don't know, it's been like a spark recently the last couple months where I've been like, man, it's really time to just start doing some other creative things.
I feel like people, because this has been the whole journey for me this year as well as getting into local theatre productions.
Yeah.
And it's so funny that I think at the start of this podcast, you expressed interest in directing movies in some form. I expressed interest in acting in movies in some form.
Hey, you're acting, I'm directing right now.
And yeah, exactly. Like we've both made our way or made more steps in those directions over this past year, which is so fun to see us just like almost in tandem progressing bit by bit.
Through line of Podzilla. What's Podzilla season 10? Where will we be 5 years from now?
Jasha and Steven Spielberg co-directing a movie.
Steven Spielberg's like 90. He's going to be gone.
That's why he's co-directing. You think someone else to share the burden.
He's on his hospital bed and he's asking me to ghost direct it for him. Yeah, that's the dream. Real quick, big thank you to our Odo Island patrons. If you head to patreon.com/Podzilla, you can support the show. There are a few different tiers. You get access to extended episodes, bonus episodes, and you can nominate movies for each of our themes. We actually have this theme's nominated movies from our patrons to read out at the end of the episode, which I'm excited for. But big thank you to Connor, Frogurt, Nerkles, Michael, Rich, Jacob, Sean, Ron, Matt, JBSpino, Emma, and JB Mason. Really appreciate you guys.
You're all legends.
Well, absolute legends. But yeah, without further ado, the host was your pick for our Beneath the Waves theme, Micah. You'd never seen this before?
Never seen it. Only reason I'd even heard of it was, I think it was on a monster. Like, I was looking through a bunch of Reddit threads trying to find good monster movies under the waves. None of them were really hitting. And then I see one that's directed by Bong Joon Ho. I'm like, never even heard that he had done a monster movie, let alone an underwater monster one before.
It didn't, because when I thought of Beneath the Waves and when I was thinking of my pick, for some reason this never even came to mind. I think I was thinking more like deep sea, like underwater based, or like sharks. Whereas this is it's definitely Beneath the Waves. It's about a monster birthed out of the Han River that has its little like lair in the Han River and the sewer there.
Yeah, a lot of it is based around, like you said, the river,
water pollution,
around bridges that people are driving and walking across.
A lot of rain. A very wet movie. Continuing that theme from The Abyss. But yeah, I'll take us into the host, shall I?
Please.
What use is a few hundred dirty, dusty formaldehyde bottles? An American pathologist orders his assistant to dump a whole lot of those chemicals into the Han River, and soon a little bitty tadpole begins to mutate into something far bigger and far more dangerous. 6 years later, while slacking off at his father's snack bar, Park Gung-doo comes face to face with this beast as it attacks a park and takes off with his daughter, Hyun Seo. The Han River area is quickly quarantined, and the creature is declared the host of a deadly virus that supposedly infects all who come in contact with it. Not believing that his daughter is truly dead, Gung-doo rallies his family, his father, his brother, his sister, to return to the river, search the sewers, and find his daughter. Throughout the movie, they split apart, are experimented on, some of them even killed. But they managed to finally confront the creature again. And even though the government, the police, no one else could bring it down and put a stop to it, this family does. And even though Hyun Seo doesn't actually survive, they managed to kill the host and save another one of its victims, a young boy named Se-ju. But will they ever get over the injustice done to them? Was the virus even truly real? And who, in the end of it all, was really the host?
That was true art right there.
Oh my goodness.
Man. Get this kind of director's seat ASAP.
Writing these synopsises. Me and Michael caught up this way. We watch a movie. We sit down to record. I'm just typing and typing.
Furiously
putting something together. Next season, you are back to doing the synopsis. I hope you know.
Oh boy. Bane of my existence. This is why I just read out the Letterboxd synopses.
It's the Letterboxd synopsis and IMDb trivia.
Man, that's my life. I love it.
It's gonna go on your tombstone. You know what? On your tombstone, I'm just gonna put, I don't know, something from IMDb. You'll be an actor by then. You'll have your own IMDb trivia.
IMDb page.
You'll have your own IMDb trivia on your cast page, and I'll just get a little copy and paste.
I think I'm already on IMDb.
Are you?
Maybe.
Whoa,
Crazy.
You'll be on Wikizilla by then, though.
Oh, please! And that'll be the defining moment of my life. I was so surprised to hear, and it was only like immediately prior to watching this movie that I found out that this movie is big. 2006, the year it came out, it ended up topping the charts and staying in the number one place for highest grossing box office movies in South Korea of all time. To the point where a lot of the team and Joon Ho were saying that like it out Hollywooded Hollywood with just how much it created, pardon my pun, created waves in South Korea.
I think it also created waves like in the Western world as well, because Bong was like a cult director, I feel like, at the time, between Memories of Murder and this and a couple of his other things. He wasn't very well known, but he started getting like the film underground. A lot of fans were really discovering him and caring about his work. I feel like he only really got into the cultural consciousness with Parasite. But he had these kind of
the Western culture, I would say.
Yes,
at least.
South Korea definitely already knew him, but he just had these like really good films. The Host being one of them that people started to discover and just really, really love. So yeah, it's crazy to know how big it was in South Korea, how closely tied it was to like him loving Godzilla and then creating this. It's a pretty cool little story.
Something I read as well, and I think it's what makes this movie stand apart in a little bit of a different way from a lot of monster movies, is that when he first approached some of his friends and fellow movie industry peers about the idea for this movie, he was initially shut down by a lot of them purely on the fact that it was a monster movie. I think a lot of them thought that, with his talents as being an up-and-coming director and wanting to further his skills and his name more, that working on a monster movie is almost like shooting yourself in the foot. But he really pushed back against that, thinking like you can make a monster movie that's really impactful and has, all the things that we adore about monster movies is amazing characters and a human storyline, and not just having the focus on the monster being the only defining factor of the movie.
It goes a lot deeper than just the creature in this. Like this whole lengths of the film where it's not even really about the monster, and it's more so about this infection or this deadly virus that's spreading everywhere that isn't even real by the end of the movie.
Yeah, and I think there is we haven't talked about it too much on this podcast, but I feel like being a monster movie is almost treated as being a little bit juvenile compared to a lot of other. I mean, you look at the Oscars,
Micah, the host of Podzilla.
I know,
saying monster movies are co-host. Sorry, returning guest.
I feel like the fact when Godzilla -1 was nominated and won the Oscar for special effects, that was really important for the industry by saying that, hey, monster movies don't just have to be these feel-good, rompy escapades. That you can just make these fantastic stories with them as a backdrop and as a focus.
I feel like the world's turning a little bit, because it was the same with horror movies. And then recently we've got things like Nosferatu or Alien Romulus, or this year Sinners and Weapons, like some genre movies that in the past were seen as just kind of trashy stuff actually really resonating with people.
And I think that like there's exceptions to that rule, obviously.
What do you mean, no?
The fact that Alien is one that fits into both camps as a horror monster movie is incredibly well regarded, and it has been for a long time.
Yeah.
And in the monster world as well, like movies like Cloverfield have been heralded as just being amazing since they came out. But you're right in the fact that I think recently
people are taking it seriously.
It's good to see.
It's good to see. This movie has such a funny opening, because we follow this like down on his luck dad, Gung-do,
Favorite trope.
and he's just absolute slacker, absolute dim-witted, just douchebag almost, sleeping on the job, stealing things from his customers, working in his dad. I mean, he looks middle-aged, and he's working in his dad's like little corner store convenience shop.
It opens with him sleeping at his food cart, and I think with the initial shot, I thought that he was like a very early young adult, like in his early 20s.
Yeah.
And you see him talking to his, who I thought was his like little sister or niece or something. And then in the next scene, you see him sitting in front of the TV, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, this dude's old.
This dude's
Oh, shoot.
pretty old. And he's got this grown teenage daughter. And I really love the family dynamics in this because from the outset, no one really likes him. Like his brother, his sister don't like him. His dad's kind of like coping with him. His daughter like seems to be annoyed by him quite a bit. And what's really interesting is that this film, more than anything, is not like about the family rallying around him. It's about everyone coming around their shared love of his daughter and like doing anything they can to get her back and save her, and then like caring for each other along the way.
Yeah. You have, I mean, what's our protagonist's name? Is it Park?
The last name's Park, I believe. Protagonist is Gung-do.
That's right.
I think I hope I'm pronouncing it right.
Yeah.
Gung-do.
Gung-do. I feel like throughout the movie, he starts off initially as this. He reminds me so much of the protagonist from Squid Games. Everybody hates them. They're kind of a douchebag, but they have a cause that they end up fighting to the ends of the earth for. And I feel like throughout most of the movie, that's one of the defining features of Gung-do there is the fact that he's really unceasing in his love for his daughter.
He's also...
And he's got so much motivation and so much like incentive and drive to go to the ends of the earth for her.
He's also very brave. And I think that's what the start shows, because it's all these people hanging out at this park on the Han River in Korea. And all of a sudden, this monster attacks. So they see this monster and they like chucking things at it. The amount of trash they were just chucking at this monster in the river.
Pollution's crazy.
They're just bringing it right over to them. What are they doing? And then this monster, this lanky ass tadpole-esque monster, like shambles out of the river, starts running along, and then just starts causing havoc. It's not really killing people, but it's knocking people over. It's throwing people aside, trapping people in buildings, just causing a whole lot of chaos. And even though like we're introduced to this main character as like super slacker guy, like he is one of the only like two people that actually try to grab weapons and try to actually stop this thing, which was just an interesting, like he does have some sort of drive to him, and he is kind of brave, even if he hasn't done much with his life, or even if he's just super lazy.
I feel like his character has this really, really interesting duality where you could write off so much, and in my mind, it might even still be the main reason why he's doing them. But I think you can see a lot of his actions as, what's the best way to describe it? You could see them as very brave, heroic acts, or you could see them as incredibly, what's the word I'm looking for?
Stupid?
Yeah. I forget the word I'm looking for, but like these acts that are really, oh my gosh. This happens so
Let's
often.
pause the podcast.
Pause the podcast, please.
If we could just all take a moment.
Very reckless acts coming from a place of, not caring about things, not really thinking through his actions.
He is actually the one that beckons it over in the first place by throwing a beer can at it.
He throws a beer can at it. But then as you're saying, there's a scene where there's an American, I believe he's a soldier or an ex-soldier, who's in the area who starts fighting back against this monster.
This guy's brave.
Just picks up like a little slate from the ground, chucks him at him. And then you see our good friend Gung-do end up like picking up a little signpost off the street, and together they're ramming it into the beast, slamming it on its back with like the concrete stabilizer foundation that they're doing some damage.
It's interesting because I don't think this monster is very scary. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's just the way, I mean, it's early 2000s like computer generated graphics.
pretty good for what it is, but
some scenes are really
shows
good.
It's 2006.
But there's some scenes, and definitely the movement of the creature, and when you're up close to it, it very much just looks janky. But even in the way it moves, like again, it's not killing people. It's like headbutting them and knocking them to the ground and like sliding around.
What would you say it looks like? This creature was designed by Weta Workshop.
Was it?
And it looks like this. I mean, it looks like a really mutated anglerfish almost, but like not the scary kind.
I think like a mutated tadpole is what I got from it, like a freshwater tadpole. But then, it has strange jaws that like pop out of its mouth, numerous arms and
a lot
legs.
of like whiskers. Throughout the movie, it has this almost blind-looking eye.
I love that eye, that clouded pupil.
That we find out it's not really blind out of that it can see through.
Its official name is...
Oh, I was going to say.
Do you know the official name?
Do you know the official name?
I don't know if I can pronounce the official name.
Oh, I know the unofficial name then. You tell me the official name.
Okay. What's the unofficial name?
Steve Buscemi.
Why is that its unofficial name?
Because the creators thought it looked and acted a lot like Steve Buscemi in the Fargo movie.
Just lumbering around, knocking things down.
Steve, I saw a very short clip of it, but everybody in that movie just says throughout the entire film that Steve Buscemi he's real funny looking.
Yes.
He's real funny looking. Yeah. And that's what they thought of this guy as well. He's real funny looking.
He is very funny looking in acting. The official name is Gwomul.
Gwomul.
Gwomul. Gwoemul. Gwomul.
Mule.
Mule.
Does it mean anything?
It just is Korean for monster. But Gwomul is what they call it. And it doesn't really say much more about his design or what he is online other than he is 35 to 40 feet long, some kind of mutated amphibian from the river.
Funny looking.
He's funny looking. Let's call him Steve Buscemi because I can say that.
Oh, Buscemi over here.
Buscemi.
I love the way that they've put a lot of character into this beast, though. From the first moment you see him, he is curled up, almost like a bat on the underside of the bridge over the Han River. He's got this huge prehensile tail, and one of the ways that he moves constantly throughout the movie is almost like a monkey. He'll constantly be swinging on his tail, flipping around to his arms and then back to his tail to traverse the bottom of this bridge.
I love his real dainty little drop into the water. Like slow-mo, just like bloop.
I was expecting it to cut to a panel of judges and hold up little scorecards.
He does it multiple times. It's like his big move. Oh, hold up. He's doing his little plop right now.
Hey, no splash.
Yeah, and then the starting really it's a bit goofy looking, but I love how quickly it turns to actual terror when there's that whole group of people that like crowd themselves into a room and you just see their bloody hands grasping out trying to get out the other side of the building and then blood dripping down to the concrete below. I think that's another time where our main guy Gung-do actually is like, okay, I'm going to try and free those people from the building, which is cool. But then you see this creature, the host. It hasn't really been killing people. I think it swallowed a couple. Maybe that American guy, it got into its mouth. But then crazy ending to this big finale scene is Gung-do's daughter finally realizes the monster's there as well, comes out of her little building there and into the chaos of the Han River. And he grabs his daughter, starts running with her. Everyone's running away from this creature. Then in the kerfuffle, somehow he's grabbed onto another young girl that isn't his daughter. And his daughter's great shot, fantastic shot of her like falling to the ground, looking up, trying to get to her dad, and then just being grabbed by the creature with its tail and just being pulled into the water as it disappears.
And which leads to the great like core struggle of the movie is that everybody thinks she's dead. Later on, Gung-do finds out that he gets a phone call from her that she's alive, and it's this whole movie is focused around the struggle to get them back. But it ends up turning into this almost thriller-esque
political thriller, which is
my favorite political thriller movie. From the Park family here, as they just get swept up in this huge government-wide scheme.
Because really, this creature has come out of the Han River, and you do see the actual starting scene of the movie isn't the Han River and the monster coming out of it. It is just this American doctor with hundreds and hundreds, looks like thousands of bottles of formaldehyde, and he just forces his assistant to empty it into the river. And I love that like panning shot that never ends
so
over
good.
how many bottles he's emptied. Is crazy. But
I feel like that scene does so much lead work into showing that this movie isn't at least a small way satirical.
And it's quite comedic.
Yeah,
like it's a super funny movie. It's so many things: horror, thriller, comedy, and then again just really touches on those political elements. Because it's an interesting backdrop to the whole film. The government's complete incompetence with dealing with this monster, and instead pushing this idea to its public, pushing this propaganda that there is this big virus outbreak and that like people are infected and that the Park family's infected and people are going to be dying and they're going to have to come up with some sort of solution, and there's a new chemical cure called Agent Yellow, which they're going to be dropping into places. And
not even a chemical cure, it's a proper bioweapon.
Because there was a real thing like that, I think it was Agent Orange or something that was used.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Let me do some research in the background.
Yeah. And I'm not even sure if the movie is talking about, or the movie's title, The Host, is talking about the creature, or if it's talking about Gung Du, who very quickly is treated like he is the host of some sort of virus, as he's kept behind plastic with his family and he's got tests done on him. And
I mean, I think the translation for this movie, I think in Korean it is just called The Monster.
Oh, really?
Which I think leans even more heavily into those themes of, even though there is this monster in the background, what is the monster here?
Yeah. That is quite a crazy reveal that like, hey, there's not actually a virus. Hey.
Yeah.
We are just controlling everyone, and we are just doing... What are they even doing? They're just making stupid decisions and not actually looking out for anyone's well-being, just trying to save face.
I love the fact that Agent Orange was a thing.
It was.
In this movie, Agent Yellow, it's this almost teardrop-shaped machine that hangs by a chain that they then... It's like smoke that pours out of it, and it drops like a huge gas bomb. But it is incredibly similar, very intentionally, in the shape that the monster hangs when it's hanging from the bridge.
True, yeah.
Which is just great thematic irony there. The fact that you see this big cure that it's not even it is going to cause harm to the population.
You see people like throwing up blood straight after they release it.
Blood pouring out of people's ears.
Yeah.
I don't want to go straight to talking about the final scene, but like the amount of, I think over the speaker in some of the final scenes, you hear that the warning siren is saying like, hey, vacate the area until you can't hear this message anymore. And then it goes on to say, please vacate the area. This chemical is dangerous, especially to children. Make sure that they are out of the area. And then, I mean, throughout this entire movie, the thing that's obstructing the Park family from getting to his daughter is the government in every single way, shape, and form.
And really, ultimately, 3 members of the Park family are able to kill this monster. And I'm sure if the government even sent like a few people or like one team and just tried to like tackle this normally, they would be able to like kill this beast instead of just blowing it completely out of proportions into something.
It's not the focus.
No.
It's not the focus.
What do you think of the rest of the Park family? We have the daughter. Should we talk about the daughter? Young Seo.
Young Seo is great. Love her.
Yeah, she survives. She takes this little boy under her wing that also is taken by the creature and dropped into the sewers. And she's trying her best. It's really sad because she's trying her best and is figuring out these ways to try and get out of this creature's clutches. Ultimately, fails. Is tricked by the monster. It's very smart monster.
I love her scenes. It ends up playing out a little bit like almost like a prison, but also like an escape room type of vibe with her just trying to figure out some ways to not only survive, but escape from It's honestly just like a huge rectangular pit.
Yeah. And then every once in a while, the creature's going to be looking down and peering over before disappearing again.
Yeah, this little layer of the monster. And I love the monsters part. Like you were saying, it does hurt and kill people. I think that scene at the start where there's all the people trapped in the little cabin with their arms reaching through and you see the blood pooling on the floor. Like, it is a dangerous beast. But at the same time, the main thing that it's doing with a lot of these people, and it's one of the characterizations of this creature that I love, is it ends up swallowing them all, keeping them in its mouth, and then regurgitating them, a lot of the time mostly still alive, back in its lair. I think it goes a long way to not really explain what the creature's doing here, because it's not eating them.
No, but then how about the reveal of like the thousands of bones that it just vomits out? So obviously it is eating some of them, or some of them are just completely staying in its stomach and digesting inside there.
But it's a little mystery to the creature that goes unexplained. That
why do certain people survive?
Yeah, it does a lot of legwork for it. And going into the final scene, the monster, ingests Hyun Seo again, and brings her back, still alive, at least for a while, to the mainland. But I think that goes further into the themes of like, the monster is dangerous, yes.
Yeah.
But it's not explicitly like going full slasher on these people.
No. It's more like an animal. Like, I don't know, like it does have some sort of system behind it. It's storing up food. It's like just trying to survive.
Yep. It's not killing for the sake of killing. It's not causing harm for the sake of causing harm. And then that's mirrored by scenes like later on when, oh my gosh, the main part guy, Gungdu is fully abducted by the government.
Like lobotomized.
We literally see scenes of them. And it's later on when we get the reveal that the virus isn't real. And you see government officials in the background of the room being like, hey, this guy seems like he's got dementia. If he does have a virus, it's in his frontal lobe. We need to find a way to make this make sense. Let's put him in this crazy machine, strap him down
as a scapegoat almost, or a patsy. Yeah.
But the lengths that they go to try and very intentionally cause harm to these people, it does go to show that they're in a lot of ways
the host, the monster,
the monster, or at least more. The host.
Yeah, the translation doesn't quite work there. What do you think of the granddad?
Oh, he might be my favorite character in this.
Bong.
I love a good hapless dad.
Yeah, he's really like lovable, really cares for his kids, trying to do the best, but is again pretty incompetent. I love the part where he calls up, what is it? He knows a friend's niece's husband's brother-in-law that could help them get out of the hospital. And he calls up like these real dodgy dudes who get them out of the government's clutches and release them to the streets. But he's like held up by them almost and is made to pay $11,000 and like he doesn't have the money on him. So they steal his credit cards and like steal his jewelry. And he's given away everything for his grandkid or his kids here. And when he's talking to them, he doesn't even tell them that how much he paid or what he gave away. Like they think I think his son's like, oh, you spent $500 on all this stuff? That's a waste of money. And he's like,
little do they know.
Gave away so much more than that. And then he ends up as well. And this is another element that's pretty funny, but they try to take on the creature at one point, the whole family, the granddad being there as well. And they've got a whole lot of guns and they're shooting the monster. And he goes for this real heroic moment, the granddad, where Gungdu tells him, hey, I've got one more bullet in my gun. And so the granddad's like, okay, I can take that bullet. I can kill this thing. Believes his son, takes the gun with one bullet, gets his rest of his family to safety, goes head on to this creature. And then there's no bullet in the gun, and it's just Gungdu being completely incompetent again. And he actually is the reason his daughter died and his father died, which is the sad bit of this. Is he is killing people with his complete like incompetence.
What
the tragic ending that the father's like goes for this big hero moment, and then because of his son mucking up, like he just dies. It doesn't even get brought into the lair, just slammed against the concrete and killed.
There's no chance for him. I love that read because I think you look at it like Gangdu isn't incompetent. Like throughout the movie, you see him pull off so many heroic feats, but in both of those instances, like the fact that Hyun Seo ends up being taken by the creature is because he fell over, grabbed the hand that he did think was his daughter's, and it was the wrong person. In this moment, he thinks he has one bullet, and then it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is.
But like, I'd probably do the same. Like, this would be me.
It's just dumb mistakes. But then there's that really interesting moment when his father, like the granddad again, is sitting down to all his kids and telling his other son and daughter about Gangdu and why they should like respect him more. And is saying like, hey, when he was a kid, he actually used to be pretty smart. People came to him for information. Like, he's just always not quite been all there, and him not having a mother figure growing up, it did really affected him, and him losing his partner really affected him. And it seems like he's really struggling with heaps and is just not in a good mental space and is completely all over the place. But I loved seeing how the granddad still cared for his son in that moment.
Yeah, I love there's a phrase that's played out a few times, and I forget exactly what it was, but we see it first when there is a random father and child that end up raiding this food store that the Park family ends up going to.
I think it's a brother and his younger brother.
Yeah, two family members anyway.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember the phrase. It's a Korean word, a Korean phrase. But when they go to steal some food for themselves, the younger brother steals some cash as well, and the older brother says that, hey, we don't do it here, that's stealing, but this, what we're doing now, is borrowing so that we can survive. And in that scene, Gangdu's dad says that they did similar things when he was very, very young, like they didn't have enough money to buy food, but Gangdu was still trying his best, and in that older father's mind, the reason why Gangdu is a little bit stilted maybe is just because he didn't get enough protein when he was a kid.
Yeah, that's funny.
Like in his mind, I love his read of his son here is that he had the best intentions. He's a good guy, but just due to circumstances, he's just maybe a little bit more incompetent than most people, but his heart is still there.
His heart's still there. And I love, even though like his brain gets experimented on or done whatever they do with it, like he seems even more with it after that situation.
There's a great scene right before that when he gets taken by a bunch of these scientists, and they inject him with like a real potent sedative.
Yeah.
And it cuts to like 1 hour later where a bunch of the scientists are saying, are you sure we gave the right dosage? It's been an hour. He should be fully knocked out by now.
And he's still
fighting it.
And he's still like listening, and he catches that the virus isn't even real. And then even though like his brain's experimented on, he comes up with a plan, like a really smart plan to like take one of the nurses as hostage and get away out of there, away from everyone. And again, when he breaks out of that like that room where he's being experimented on, you just see the army and like all the officials just having a barbecue outside in the middle of this pandemic with this monster around, like no one caring except for him.
Yeah. He's really just been thrust into the middle of this conspiracy.
Yeah.
But I think in moments like that, you do see how, like, in some ways he might be less competent than everybody else, but in a lot of ways he is more competent than most people. Just that duality is so fantastic.
Yeah. What do you think about Gangdu's brother and sister, or the little girl who goes missing, her uncle and auntie? The uncle Nam-il and then the auntie Nam-ju.
They definitely get a bit more of a backseat in this movie.
Yeah.
I do like how Nam-ju, she is a Olympic archer.
Yeah.
And in some of the opening scenes, we see her being watched on the TV by the family. Really cool in setting up her character. She ends up getting a bronze medal because she could have gone for a shot, but then took too long with it.
Too long, or like psyched herself out.
And that's a little bit of a through line and a little side story for her throughout the movie. that she ends up taking too long. Like there's a few times where she has her bow and she could have saved the situation, but she just takes a little bit too long with it. She does have a really cool wrap up to her arc right at the end.
Same with Num Il, the uncle, who you hear from the start is just a drunkard. Like he's with young Seo at school, and she could just smell alcohol on him early in the morning, and he's like a dropout from whatever study he was doing or whatever course he was
Classic
on.
University graduate. Now can't find a job.
Crypto bro in this day and age. But just like he is obviously like not in a great place and failing at life. Yet he still like bullies his brother and like puts others down.
It's so funny that Gangdu is seen as like the runt of the family almost, but he does have a job. And these two others, these other brother and sister in the family, are still failing at life in their own small ways.
But I really love Num Il because he's not a great guy. Even great scene when they all the family first come together and they were like sobbing and screaming out in front of the photo of the daughter who's been marked as deceased. And they come together for the first time. And the family is so strained, but I just love all of them, even when they're separated, just doing anything they can to get their niece back or young Seo back. She is like Num Il, even though he's alone, like going into that office and trying to triangulate her like phone signal to find the sewer. Great scene. And like he like drops off a bridge and he's like barely able to like stay alive, and then finds this homeless guy and teams up with the homeless guy, and then comes up with a plan to, even when he's just by himself, try and get her back. And same thing with Num Ju, like she's by herself with her bow. And even still just by herself without the rest of the family there, she is trying to do her best to save her niece. And then it just comes together so well at the end when it's these three, even though they're not united together, they are united. Well, even though like they're not, what's the best way to put it? Like they're not united with one another. They're not like friendly with one another. They're not like a team. They're not a team, but they're united in their joint love of that girl who went missing. Yeah. And they each have their moment where I just love it. Gangdu, like, again, picking up that signpost to go for it.
Well, it's a really interesting, and I really love the way it plays out at the end, because the monster that everybody thinks is dead or dying ends up having renewed strength.
Yes.
I think it starts off with Num Il, who was the alcoholic at the start of the movie. He ends up having a lot of alcohol on him in the shape of beer, of Molotov cocktails.
Yes.
And almost using what was a weakness earlier now as a strength.
Yeah.
The last bottle that he has a straight shot at it, but he ends up like tripping, and it's such a good sequence there, but he ends up tripping over himself and in a very Gangdu fashion, dropping the bottle, and it ends up like burning out on the ground. But then out of that failure, we see Num Ju with her bow, who throughout all the movie has waited too long to take her shots, very quickly piercing the cloth that's still burning from this Molotov cocktail, shooting it at the beast, who ends up going in a bunch of flames, and it seems like it's the final shot to kill this beast.
But then after that...
But then it still has renewed strength and goes to jump in the water.
And then Gangdu, who initially at the very start tried to pick up this signpost by himself, but it was too heavy almost, picks it up again, but smashes the concrete and finds like a weapon that he actually is comfortable with to kill it. Like he's smarter now.
He's smarter now, and is the one who, amidst everybody failing in some fashion, together he makes the final kill against this beast. It's a really poetic final moment, and I love the way that it plays out.
And again, perfect arc for these three characters, like learning from their mistakes and coming together at the end in the middle of this Agent Yellow that the government's put there just to kill everyone really and get rid of this threat once and for all. No one else really learning from anything or getting stronger in any way. These three in the face of it all are the ones to take down this beast. It's just great ending.
There's a really cool shot when Gangdu ends up using that pole and skewering this beast in the mouth, where it pushes against him with so much pressure that he's left with a circle indentation on his hand.
Yeah.
And like I'm sure in Korean culture that has crazy symbolism. Like, I'm sure that circle means something in the alphabet or something.
True.
I'm sure
It was great just to show how
much.
much he pushes himself for his daughter. Mike, do you have any trivia? Do you have any like more bits and pieces about the host for us to get into?
Yeah, just a few little ones. So, officially, again, the monster doesn't have an official name.
What do you mean?
Other than the monster.
Steve Buscemi.
But purely because of the fact that this movie ended up doing so well, I think, not accounting for people who saw it multiple times, 20% of the population, quote unquote, saw this movie with how many tickets it sold. Like, it was quite a huge pop culture icon, to the point that at the site of the Han River in this movie, in real life, they ended up putting up a statue of the monster.
You can go see that right now in South Korea.
It became almost the Godzilla of the Han area and stayed there for a decade. But just last year, Jaysha, 2024, because it didn't fit with the aesthetic of the park, it was taken down. But you can see pictures of this creature and it looks really cool. Like, as a kid, I would have... Let me search it up here. Han River monster statue. Like, as a kid, I would have been playing on this thing. I would have been swinging from it. I would have been taking photos in its mouth.
Oh, that rules. That's like the Chinese dragon at the Auckland Zoo.
Yeah. And it's great. Its tongue was turned into like little steps that you can
that's
walk
super
into.
Cool. It's more of like a art piece than like a statue.
Yeah. But sadly, it's now been taken down.
Oh man.
Sad times, Jaysha.
Yep.
Lesser trivia, but just a standout moment of the movie for me is that in South Korea, a lot of the older generation bribes a lot.
Yeah.
And that is portrayed in the movie. And one of my favorite scenes was showing how the Gangdu's father is just a little bit more set in his ways, a little bit more separate, doesn't quite get the current generation. When they're abducted by the scientists and the government early on, he tries to bribe some of the officers with some of the money.
Yep.
When the director was asked, did he have to bribe anyone to make this film? Bong Joon Ho did have to bribe his producer.
Whoa, bribing his producer.
Yeah. Crazy stuff.
Bribing someone you hired to make a movie. Wow.
Also, final thing, this movie is in Quentin Tarantino's top 20 favorite films released between 1992 and 2009. Which is an incredibly prestigious list, Jake.
Very prestigious list, especially coming from Quentin Tarantino in our year 2025, who is maybe the most hated person on the face of the planet.
I haven't seen a lot of Tarantino movies, but it shocks me just how...
Do you see his Paul Dano comments?
Yeah. Everybody rallying around Paul Dano.
Everyone hates Tarantino now.
Man.
Making movies in Fortnite and hating on some of our most beloved actors.
I kind of like him. I mean, I've realized...
We need people with attitude out there,
in the past couple of months, I've realized how stupid it is that there are so many celebrities out there that we hyper-focus and expect them to be like the best people 100% of the time. It's so cool. Just am I really defending Tarantino here? Oh,
it's
actually,
so cool that some people are just idiots.
I like the fact when I see people, regardless of what they're doing, because I do not endorse all actions of celebrities.
Okay, good.
But people who just legitimately do not care and are fine just voicing their opinions.
Yeah,
again, I'm not endorsing any opinions.
It is funny.
By Tarantino.
Micah officially endorses Quentin Tarantino.
Idol. Thank you. I've got a shrine to him in my house.
Yeah. And you've definitely seen even a single Tarantino movie.
Have I?
No, you haven't.
Wait, let me fact check.
You have not.
Jaysha, did you have a little rating for this movie or any other scenes or segments that you loved?
Yeah, I'll just quickly go through some little thoughts. Interesting, like starting scene when the creature is still like slowly being spotted in the river, and you see the faint dark shadow moving throughout, and we get a scene of like this executive trying to kill himself off this bridge, and he like halts for a moment because he thinks he sees something down below. Interesting, just thematic choice, like that it starts in such a dark place. And I just love the atmosphere of the whole movie just being drenched in water. It just adds like, I don't know, if you're going out there and doing something and it's a sunny day, it's so much easier to do than if you're going out there and doing something and it's like a rainy day. It just adds some sort of resistance or some kind of like downer to everything. And I just love that added layer to this movie, that it seems just so much strenuous for anyone to get through what they're dealing with because it's just such heavy rain in front of it all. Yeah, I just love the small moments with his family. I love Nam-il, the uncle's kick. Like, he does like just this flying jump kick to Gung-do when they're like mourning the loss of the daughter together.
You know what? Last trivia, that was completely improvised.
The flying kick?
Yep.
It was great. I love it. Really great scene where the family, except for the daughter, all gathered together in the like corner store again and just sharing a meal. And then slowly you see the like daughter appear there, and they're all, without talking, just like acknowledging that she's there and giving her some food. And then it just completely cuts back to her reality. She is not with them. She is just like crying, struggling for survival in this sewer. And just really sad scene. It's a sad movie for all its comedy that it has in it. And then just some heaps of little funny parts. Like, I love that moment where they're still deep in the lie that there's some sort of pandemic going on, and you see a guy coughing like on a bus near a bus stop, and you hear over the radio, the virus can be spread by people who have the symptoms of a common cold. And then you see this guy coughing, spit out like a big chunk of phlegm into the street. He's yucking something into the street, and then this bus goes by and sprays what he spat out into the faces of everyone waiting for the bus stop. Love the costumes. The government are dressed in these yellow kind of hazmat suits that really reminded me of some of the Showa era costumes from Godzilla, or even like things like the War in Space, the orange costumes in that, the space suits just looked very similar. And then just an interesting movie as well now in the light of COVID and seeing the incompetence of some governments around the world, or how much people struggle to deal with a big situation like that. And again, even just all the information that was out there that wasn't true, how people started to spread. Like, it's just interesting going through a real life huge pandemic and then seeing something on a smaller scale in the host and just seeing those parallels still, that there's some sort of incompetence, or that we still struggle to deal with things like this. I feel like we should be better as humanity at dealing with big problems, but somehow everyone's just always scrambling whenever they pop up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's hard. I mean, it's a whole different conversation, but in this movie, it highlights the government incompetence. But I mean, you saw it throughout so much of the world, like even in places where the government was doing well because of other factors, like it's really hard to join together in an efficient way.
Yeah. But then I love that story in this movie of the family who find it so hard to get along, actually joining together for that common cause at the end. Yeah, it's just a cool little story. So, Mykah, if I was running a little snack bar, if I was working at a snack bar and someone ordered some fried squid, I think I would be tearing off 5 legs and eating them.
So you're giving this a 2.5?
I'm giving this a 5 out of 5. 5 squid legs I'm eating and stealing from these paying customers. How good did that fried squid look? I wish I could have a stick of fried squid right now. But yeah, 5 out of 5. I love The Host. I just love its atmosphere. I love how Bong plays with different genres and ties them together. Definitely my favorite types of monster movies where the characters are really good, but not just that, it just goes and explores deeper themes without what seems like this very simple premise at times. Love the tone, love the comedy. Even though I don't completely understand the political takes or what it's saying about what happened with that incident in Korea or what it's saying about our current world, I just appreciate it. And there's a lot to think about here. So yeah, 5 out of 5 for The Host.
I like it, Jasha.
Yeah?
I like it a lot.
Yeah? How many squid legs you eating up?
That squid looked so flat.
Yeah, but like a fried, crispy squid, Mykah.
I don't have too much else to say about it. I really, really love just all the themes that this movie has to say about, how in a lot of situations, even when people are trying their best to succeed and do the right thing, like government systems just end up screwing people over. I think working in the healthcare field, I relate to that quite a bit.
A lot of people told to just chuck formaldehyde into the
yeah, man.
water supply.
When Mother Superior tells you to chuck some formaldehyde in the sink, you do as she says. No, but like, I feel like there is a lot of divide a lot of the time when you have people who are trying their best to create a good outcome for themselves or for other people, while adhering to the system.
Yeah.
And even still really being let down by it.
I even loved in this, like, the government officials or the people in hazmat suits, like, they don't even really know what's going on. They 100% are just believing what they're told. They're just trying to do their best, but they are still incompetent as well. Like that guy who in the hazmat suit comes out and just completely trips up and like slips over before giving really important news.
Scene. The dude who is supposed to let everybody know that there's a virus, he trips up. He says, I'm not going to explain this. Let's turn on the TV because the news will explain it. Oh, the news isn't on at the moment. Well, da-da-da-da-da. And while he's fumbling over his words, the room is just getting smoked out by everybody else.
Just to give any information and things happening to them without their knowledge. Yeah.
One of my favorite scenes is right at the end as Gung-do gets abducted and he's about to have his, his brain caught out by these machines. There's that one American official who comes in and initially seems like super receptive and heartfelt towards him. He's like, guys, what are you doing? Stop all these tests. He sits him down, has a translator with him and tries to have a crazy conversation about like, your daughter's actually alive. Why haven't you been doing anything? Why haven't you reached out to the police? Why haven't you reached out to like some human rights groups? Like there are so many ways that you could have tracked down to save her. And then being a government official, he then turns against him and is the one who, lets him down in that way and ends up being like the spearhead for doing these unethical tests on him. It's just really interesting how the person who was able to put forward these really good
ideas for how to
solve and initiatives
situation
that could work is also the exact same person who is shooting him down.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Yeah. Like, hey, all these things exist to help you, but you are not in a position to use them. Or we're going to put you in a position not to use them.
As a government official, you should be using these. But at the same time, you're not going to be able to because I want you for my own purposes.
I'm going to force you into a place where you cannot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Makes you think.
It's interesting.
All that to say, I'm going to be tearing off 4.5.
4.5
little squid tentacles here.
Going to leave just a half for someone having a picnic.
Just a little half for any people who want to partake in some.
Dude,
I forget the Korean term.
The body of the squid.
The borrowing of food.
The body of the squid's good, but those legs, the longest leg, Micah.
Longest leg is always the best.
I want a squid leg, dude.
It just looks like naan bread.
It looks flat, so good.
Flat bread.
I just love seafood, except for seafood chowder.
Yeah. Good movie. I feel like this is a movie that fits in the same vein as Godzilla -1. That uses a monster in the background, uses it as an incredible backdrop to tell these human stories that has a really crazy and insightful message about what's happening with society.
For sure.
And not only society, but like also at the same time being able to focus in on the smaller individuals and families.
Give everyone a satisfying arc. Yeah.
If you like -1, watch this movie. It'll be a banger.
For sure. If you like -1, if you like Shin Godzilla, I feel like those two Godzilla movies with those bigger themes, this is very much in the same camp. Next episode, we're going to be covering my pick for Beneath the Waves, which is Underwater, a film that came out 2020 with Kirsten Stewart. The synopsis is, 7 miles below the ocean surface, something has awakened. After an earthquake destroys their underwater station, 6 researchers must navigate 2 miles along the dangerous unknown depths of the ocean floor to make it to safety in a race against time.
Kristen Stewart.
Kristen?
Kristen.
Not Kirsten.
I think you. I thought you said Kirsten Dunst.
Has my whole life been a lie?
Yeah.
Christian Stewart.
Nope. Kristen.
Christian Stewart.
Kristen.
Kirsten. Kirsty Stewart.
Kristen Stewart.
Kirsten Stewart. Oh my goodness. We'll get through this together. But yeah, go check out Underwater. We'll be back in 2 weeks talking about that. And then for our final movie, after Underwater, it's going to be a movie picked by one of our Patreon supporters. I have all our Patreon supporters at the Odo Island tier and their nominated movies, Micah. Do you want to give them a listen?
Yeah, please.
And then by the time this episode is out, you can go to our Patreon, you can go to the Odo Island channel in our Discord, and you can vote on which one you want to be picked. So JB Mason has nominated Castaway.
Oh, nice.
With Tom Hanks.
I've seen this
Mike,
movie.
how is this a creature feature based around water?
Did he explain himself?
No. He did not explain anything. The ball?
Is
the
Wilson a
volleyball?
monster?
Is Wilson a creature? Does Tom Hanks become a creature?
Oh.
Is the Postal Service a creature?
Does
FedEx?
society... Yeah, I don't know.
Is FedEx the monster in this movie? So yeah, we have Castaway for a potential pick. Frogurt nominated Jurassic Park 3
Nice.
with the Spinosaurus.
Sure, I haven't seen 2 or 3 in a long, long time.
Yeah. Jurassic Park 3 is an option. Morshoe nominated Sphere.
It's not Saphir.
Sphere from 1998, which I've never heard about in my life.
Who's this? Oh, I know this actor. This got Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman
Samuel L. Jackson.
from Kramer versus Kramer.
Yeah.
What is Sphere?
A spacecraft is
Sphere.
discovered on the
Sphere.
floor of the Pacific Ocean. So it's an alien movie.
It's the Abyss.
Underwater alien movie. It's The Abyss.
It's the Abyss 2. So Moshi put forward Sphere. Rich put forward Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World. A famous ocean-faring movie with Russell Crowe that again does not have any monsters. This is a seafaring Charles Darwin exploration movie.
Moby Dick without the whale.
Is the boat the monster? Guys, every day we're going further and further away.
Further from the podcast.
This is Podzilla, guys. This is Podzilla, and you're putting forward Castaway and Master and Commander.
What's next?
I'm going to speak to our legal team. Connor put forward Piranha 2, The Spawning.
Nice.
James Cameron movie.
That's more of
Flying mutant piranhas. Thank you, Connor. Thank you. Please, let's get James Cameron back on the show. Nigel put forward Jaws the Revenge from 1987. You remember this, Micah?
This is the second one?
This is the fourth one with Michael.
It's not got Michael Caine in.
As Hoagie.
Michael Caine.
Hi, my name's Michael Caine.
My name is Michael Caine.
I like flying airplanes, and I'd like to make out with you, Mrs. Lady here. Save you from the sharks.
Out of a bad relationship.
Yeah.
But I think that you can come on my plane.
I'm in my Hawaiian shirt.
See you any day.
Yeah, come for a flight with me, lady.
Doesn't he hate this movie?
Yeah, he hates it. This was he just needed some quick, fast cash to sell off a house, so he was in Jaws the Revenge. Nerkles put forth The Water Horse.
Oh my gosh.
Loch Ness Monster movie.
Seminal cinema movie for me. This is in like my first 5 cinema movies I ever saw.
Ron put forward Lake Placid, which I think is about like a giant crocodile.
Let me confirm.
Crocs? Alligators?
Lake Placid. Yep, this is a little Crocs movie.
Crocs. That's good. That's on theme. Thank you,
That's
Ron.
on theme.
That's on theme. Emma put forward The Bay from 2012.
Ooh.
The Bay. Which is this the one with like tiny little creatures that put themselves in people's throats?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I've never seen this. The Bay.
2 million fish washed ashore.
I think it's, those fish that some of them have like parasites that attach to their tongues that like eat the food that they eat.
Oh, yeah. Wait, this is great.
I think it's about that happening to people.
Okay, cool.
That's pretty cool. Sean put forward Deep Blue Sea, classic shark movie, again with Samuel L. Jackson. Really fun one. That could be a good time. And then lastly, JBSpino, the healed Spino. He put forward Rego, King of the Sea Monsters from 2005. Rego, Reigo.
Thank you. I know that you know that I'm looking them up on Letterboxd and was struggling with that one.
Another, I think, foreign film. Back to Our Roots with Rago. But yeah, those are our nominations. Castaway, Jurassic Park 3, Sphere, Master and Commander, Piranha 2, Jaws the Revenge, The Waterhorse, Lake Placid, The Bay, Deep Blue Sea, Rago. And I actually forgot one. I always do this. Matt put forward Anaconda.
The new one?
The old one, 1997. Giant Snake. Castaway, Jurassic Park 3, Sphere, Master and Commander, Piranha 2, Jaws the Revenge, The Waterhorse, Lake Placid, The Bay, Anaconda, Deep Blue Sea, Rago. Make your pick now. Or
Guys,
sign up to the Patreon.
There are a lot of good picks there.
There are.
There are a lot of picks that don't fit the theme there.
There are. So the power's in your hands. Stick around if you are a patron after the show, after this episode. Now that Mykah has officially announced that Summer of Mykah starts 20-something of December, we're going to come up with a list of movies he is 100% going to tick off in the Summer of Mykah.
This is really good.
This is good. You need this. If we can give you a list, you can make a letterbox list right now. You can see your future ahead of you, what you need to get through.
Actually, here's what we'll do.
Yeah?
22nd, if we start on the 22nd, that leaves 7, 8, 9, 10. That leaves 10 days in December for me to watch movies.
Okay.
We're making my 10-day watch list for the rest of the
Whoa! December. Movie a day, Mike, for 10 days. We're going to decide what movies those will be.
Will I watch a movie on Christmas Day? We'll see.
Yeah, you will. We do as a family. You're going to watch multiple movies.
I've got a couple night shifts, actually.
Whoa. But yeah, stick around for that and tune in next episode for Underwater. Also, have a Merry Christmas.
Oh, hey, yeah, this will be our last episode before Christmas.
This is our last episode for the year. So I hope you guys have a great time. Thanks for spending this year with us. And we'll see you in 2026, the year of the Summer of Mykah. Merry Christmas to you guys.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
It's not Christmas yet.
No, it's not.
That's okay.
We're actually recording this, 30th December, and it's nearly Christmas for you guys.